welcome back to another brand new episode here on Farmer's Market Garden. I couldn't remember what it was. Yes. I think it's all the sugar I've been eating the last couple of days, and the salt. I'm afraid I'm a partial to a tub of Pringles or 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, it appears that I had a conversation just before Christmas with some friends of my mum's that came round, and somehow we managed to get onto what we were addicted to and different things, and I sort of sat there and very boldly claimed, "Oh, I'm not addicted to anything." Turns out I might well be addicted to Pringles, because and I think it becomes an addiction when you wake up in the middle of the night thinking, Pringles. You wake up in the morning, Pringles for breakfast. I have to confess that as I say, I think I may have a slight problem, but thankfully today I should get the other 19 tubs of Pringles eaten, and my body can go back to feeling somewhat normal. Anyway, I'm teasing, of course. I don't quite eat that many, but yeah, it's worse than I thought it was. But yeah, anyway, back to today's episode. So what are we up to? And just before I do continue, I hope everybody did have a good Christmas. I know this goes out, quite a few days after Christmas, but as I say, I hope everyone did have a good Christmas and enjoyed a bit of time with friends and family and what have you, and that's what it's all about really. But today we need to crack on with the work that we did in the last episode. So we've got our veggies harvested, and we also got harvested the sorghum. So we finished that in the last episode as well. And as I say, we also got our veggies harvested, which is good. So we will at some point today, probably as soon as I get this done, we will hire the factory, the canning factory. And as I said, I'm going to hire it because it means then we'll have a monthly fee, and we're paying the factory to produce our food for our farm shop. So that's why I'm going to do that. There we go. So that's why I'm going to hire it and not buy it, because yes, it would be expensive to buy straight off. I can't remember off the top of my head how much they are, but they are very expensive to buy, but it's only a one-off payment, whereas this way it's going to be costing us every month. And yeah, there'll come a point where the cost of what that is a month won't really make no difference to us, but until then, it's another payment that we've got to manage. But I do also want to buy some equipment today, so whether it's in the sales or not, my plan today is I want to buy a new small tractor and the rear forklift that's in the game now, that goes on the back of a tractor, a three-point mounted forklift. I want to buy that, and actually I don't need to do that with this one, so they will actually stack these. Yeah, I want to buy that. So I want to buy the tractor and the forklift, obviously, because one, the tractor's okay without the forklift because we can use it for other things, but the forklift's no good without the tractor. I know we do have a tractor, but obviously I'm going to need a flatbed of some sort in order to be able to cut, because we're not carting the veggies on this. It just you know, it isn't practical. And so, you know, we're going to need a way of carting it. I mean, ideally, again, if I had the money, and I don't have the money, unfortunately, and even after selling all of this, I won't have the money. But ideally, what I would like to have done is bought the small little lorry that's in the game, and use that. I also, just very quickly, apologise if I sound very nasally. I think I've got another cold and sore throat coming, because I've woken up this morning, and as I say, I'm very nasally, and I keep sniffing, I keep sneezing, and I've also got a bit of a sort of, it's not quite a sore throat, but it's on the verge of being a sore throat. So yeah, I do apologise if that's coming through. Alright, this greenhouse seems to have quite a bit of stock available. I mean, it would be nice eventually to upgrade that anyway. I mean, it's been ideal for now, and you know, sort of, oh, hang on, I don't want that one, I want that one. Yeah, it's been ideal for now, you know, but we are going to gradually outgrow it. There's no, you know, sort of two ways about that, really. You know, we will be gradually outgrowing that, and it's going to need to be replaced, but should get another one on there if I just go gentle, which James and gentle don't tend to go together. Gotta be honest. Gotta be honest. Don't tend to go together too well. Alright, so can I oh, it's gonna go Pete Tong, this. There we go. Excellent. And then if we can just grab hold of that one. Yeah, so we're gonna need to reinvest as well in new oh, not in new, but in more greenhouses. We need to start making greenhouses that specifically are producing food for specific things, i.e. The first thing that we need to do is try and get greenhouses that are producing the ingredients required for kimchi, because that's something that I'd also like to do. Wow, this is way down this time. We definitely don't want to be turning too sharp around this corner. Otherwise, this little truck is going to visit its side. And another thing as well that we need to do is, as I've said many times before, but we are now starting to outgrow this little stall. So we're going to soon need to upgrade the farm shop. I'm still not really too sure what to do, whether to go with the in-game farm shop eventually, or whether to actually still have the in-game farm shop but have my own on the site. So just there, that's where I'm thinking. It's kind of, this area is kind of set up for that, but yeah, I'm not sure which way to go in regards to that. I'd kind of, as I've said, you know, and I've said it in every episode, so I'm not going to go on about it in this one, but I would like the in-game one, just because there are people there, and it does create a little bit of a sort of farmers market atmosphere, you know, rather than just plonking it down on our land. But there won't be no people in it. And yes, I did, as I've said before, I did download some placeable people, but they're not that good. It appears the person that created that sort of mod, if you like, liked naked women, because there's a hell of a lot of naked women in it. Right, let's have a look. Ooh, that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be nice. Is that the... yeah, that's the one that does the veggies. Ooh, got a 9RX. Wow. Yes, now that's what we're looking for. That would be an absolute treat. I would like that as well, but definitely can't afford that. That wouldn't be too bad either. Actually, we need a seed drill. 140 horsepower is too big for our tractor, although you've got that tractor there, of course, but I am interested in that. I am very much interested in that, because that would be a way of getting our pallets from field to factory. Excuse me if you can hear that, but I was given a remedy the last time I had a cold and a sore throat by one of my viewers, and you know who you are. And all I can say is the honey and everything else that people have suggested that I can with my medication I can take. I'm taking at the moment, and the honey is actually helping a little bit with the throat this morning, or appears to be anyway. Right, we've got to get these off the field because I want to get this ploughed. I think this is the field that we're going to have our grain in, because at some point as well we need to get chickens. You know, we can't really afford chickens at the moment, but we do need to get chickens. And as I say, I would like more greenhouses as well, but yeah, phew, there's a lot to buy. What I might do is actually, thinking about it, if I was to buy that, yeah, if I was to buy that, I wouldn't need the second tractor. I could buy the forklift and put the forklift on the back of my little Japanese tractor that I've got. Is it a Izeki or something? I would like that, like I say, just because that would it's a nice little flatbed. I don't like the colour, so we'll change the colour, but yeah, so that would be a nice little flatbed. Like I say, we'll change the colour. We'll go for Massey Ferguson red. You can't beat Massey Ferguson red, can you? There you go. We'll get a trailer hitch on it, with no need for one, but who knows, we may upgrade in the future and buy the car trailer to go on the back of it. Bale trailer, yeah. How much is that? £24,000. Sold. And like I say, we will then buy. It's a shame it's not in there, but we'll buy it if I can find it. It's in here, I think. Yeah, £10,000. So if we buy that, then we can load the lorry. Then I'm not very good at that sort of stuff, as you well know. Oh, we got a combine. I thought we hired the combine. It's not how you look at these things these days, is it? You have to go here and then here. Alright, Massey Ferguson. I'm sure we hired it. We did hire it. We don't want it in the shed, and we definitely don't want to be paying the higher price on it. I was going to say, I'm sure we blooming hired it. Alright, let's get rid of all that. I think we do own everything else. Yeah, I'm sure we do. Right, okay. Now, naughty, but we'll just pretend that the shop has a forklift that can load our lorry for us. That's what we'll do with that one. Well, we bought a sprayer as well. That sprayer looks a little bit too big for my tractor. I can see wheelies, especially as that tractor doesn't like a front weight. Yes, we may have to change our plan with that one. I forget how big that small hardy sprayer is actually, to be fair. It's okay, the bloody shop having a forklift. How the hell are we going to get it off the bloody trailer? I'll have to get the neighbour round, see if he can give me a lift. Yeah, so you see what other YouTubers would do, of course, is they would then sort of cut and then cut back in again, and it would be off the trailer, and but we all know how they did it. So I tend not to cut all that out. Whether that costs me or not in terms of views, or I don't know, or in terms of subscribers, I'm not sure, but yeah. I play the game, as you know, as realistically as I can. But it is a game, and there are things within the game that you can get away with, that you can do. Do you know what I mean? And so therefore, you all know how I do it anyway, or how everyone else does it, how we do it anyway, and you all do it. So I just sort of kind of think, well, as long as I don't harvest a field at 900 miles an hour, cheat in 10 billion pounds and buy the best of everything, we're kind of winning, aren't we? We're kind of doing what as we should. And as I say, I do try to, but there's just sometimes when you do need a little bit of a helping hand. But I don't like doing it. I don't like skipping and tabbing to the vehicles. That annoys me. So I tend to try not to try and do that if I can help it. But yeah. Anyway, let's look past that, and we will drop that off there. Ooh, I should have lowered it first. That was a bit of a bang, wasn't it? Never mind. Right, and let's get these two machines. Oh, I needed to leave the bloody lorry running because I'm going to need to load the lorry up. Let's put this on here. Excellent. There we go. Hopefully that does go down all the way to the floor. It does not. Oh, I've got you. Okay. Alright. We also need to remember to hire the or lease the factory. But right, I'm going to do this really badly in some time lapse, and then I'll see you in a moment because, as I say, I'm going to need to stop talking, and A, to kind of rest my voice a little bit, but B, because I need to concentrate, and I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. I'm a man. Those two things are impossible. Oh dear me. I was going to say something funny then, but some people may not appreciate the funny story, so I'll not say. But when I said that, it reminded me of something that happened between me and my ex. Yeah, I'll leave it. Anyway, I'm going to go over to some time lapse just because some people might think, and turn off or whatever, or not appreciate the humour that's involved with the story. The story is not so much about the action that's being done in the story. The story is more about the thought process of me during said action, which sums me up perfectly. But as I say, so I'll leave that out. But does that go up? Yeah, it does. Thank goodness for that. Right. Oh, right, okay. We're not reaching over there. That's fine. Yes, that's perhaps not going to work too well, James, is it? Because you're not going to get a second one on there, son. Right, so we'll just lift that up like that. don't catch the bar because it will drag it off because you've not got it on properly. I did it once. So when I was, just very quickly, it's a little quick story. When I was 14, 15, I went and worked on a bull farm. So the first farm that I worked on, one of their workers owned and ran a small holding as well as a full-time job with the first farm that I went to work on. And in the summer months, he would this particular year he came to, it became apparent to everyone that I wanted to work on a farm, etc., etc. And so he, being sort of the man that he was, he sort of thought, oh, hang on a minute, business opportunity here. I can get a kid to come in and do the work, and I won't have to pay him I can pay him next to nothing, and everything will be grand, sort of thing. And so he sort of, he went to my mum first, to be fair to him, because obviously my mum worked with him on the first farm, and so did my nan and my granddad. And as I've said before, it was a real sort of kind of, I mean, life's not like that anymore. But back then, in the well, it would have been the 90s by then, but that's how life was. Everyone knew everyone, and and anyway, so he went to my mum and my dad first and said, like, I'm thinking about, James wants to work on a farm, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking about asking him if he would like to come and do some bulbs with me. And, mum and dad thought, oh, yeah, this will put him off, yeah, we'll send him. Anyway, they agreed, and so in the summer months, at the weekends in sort of June, July, and August, but in August, the end of July and August, I used to go like every day. I used to work about 6 hours a day, and don't get me wrong, Ray. Well, who I talk about on the 1950 series, Ray. It's him. And he sort of knew about my heart condition and that, and he didn't push, but he wanted to teach me tractor driving. He wanted to teach me ploughing. He wanted to teach me everything. And he said, what the most important thing that I feel I need to show you is that working on a farm does not mean you are driving a tractor every single day of your life. There are other things that need to be done, and the other things are not quite as glamorous as driving, the big tractors that you see in the fields around you, and anyway, so he had a rear-mounted David Brown forklift, right? So it was on the back of a David Brown 885, and it was a rear-mounted forklift just like this. And he said, what I want you to do is, we'd been sorting and grading bulbs, and they were in like stacks. So we would hand stack the trays onto pallets, and then obviously the forklift would then move the pallet over to like the lean-to where we would store them. And then if he'd sold some or whatever, the lorries would come in the morning and they'd get loaded up, and then they would go. Otherwise, they would be graded and what we used to call netted, so they'd be put in net bags. And and so he said to me, he said, lesson in forklifting. So I said, okay. So he loaded the pallets onto the forklift, right? And he said, all I want you to do is, I want you to drive from here to that lean-to where those other ones are. He said, turn the tractor around, reverse in, lower the forklift. As soon as the pallets are on the ground, just gently drive the tractor forwards. When the forklift is well clear of the pallet, just lift the forklift back up, bring the tractor back here. He said, like, fairly straightforward, sort of thing to do. And as I say, I was about 13, 14 at the time. So, and so I picked the I got to the let me get it straight in my head, just so as I don't leave nothing out that's funny. So I get to the tractor, as I say, the pallet's on the back, and I get in the tractor and I lift the pallet up. Now, I didn't think I needed to lift it too high, right? So I've lifted it up. It's cleared the ground, so it's not anywhere near the ground. There's, you could get your foot between the pallet and the ground, right? I'm thinking this is a sensible height, right? What I didn't take into account, and what wasn't kind of offered to me in advice, was from the field, you would go out of the field. So the field was sort of straight onto the little yard, the little sort of mini farmyard thing that had like 4 sheds and a lean-to, right? And it would go onto straight onto the sort of little farmyard, the little yard, right? So, but there was a ridge, right? So it gets to the ridge, and I've noticed the ridge, and luckily I've noticed the ridge, and I've lifted the pallets up a little bit higher, and I've cleared the ridge, right? And I then look over to Ray to make sure, that I've done a good job, and he puts his thumb up, and as if to, I took it as if to say, good thinking, well spotted, and well figured out, and what have you. So I was thinking, like, he was sort of kind of saying to me, you did a good job there, well done. All right, so a bit chuffed now with myself, it's kind of like, I'm good at this, I'm natural. So I'm going along the the little yard, a little sort of dirt yard. It was basically sort of mud and dust and bits of rubble and what have you, and what I'd sort of then, being chuffed with myself and sort of looking around thinking I was king of the hill and all of this, sort of good stuff, I gets to the bit where the lean-to is, but what I've failed to notice is that as the ground is level, it then starts to slope upwards to a little bit higher ground, and of course I've not realised this, or I've probably seen it and just thought, because it slopes up, like it's not like a little lump, it's not like a speed bump, it just slopes right up. So I'm thinking, and because I drive up this slope, don't I? And of course the pallet catches on the bloody the sort of top of the slope. There's a bit like a ledge, and it catches on the on top of the slope, and all I heard was this sort of general sort of creaking noise, and I've just happened to turn around and look back as the Leaning Tower of Pisa the pallet gets sort of kind of twisted off the forklift and sort of jammed sideways, but the momentum of that and me moving forward and then just slamming the clutch down and the 2 brakes is enough to wobble the boxes firstly forwards towards the tractor, and then they all just kind of fell off the back and they just like literally scattered across the yard. And I can remember sitting there and I burst into tears because I thought this was the natural defence to getting really shouted at for really messing up, right? And of course, like, so I'm, this I'm not crying because it's upset me or, but I'm kind of thinking to myself, this will stop him shouting at me, or he'll sort of come here and go, oh, he feels really terrible, he's crying, I better not say anything. And so he comes over and he looks at me, and he gives you that sort of parental look, and then just shakes his head very disapprovingly. And in that moment, I really wished he'd shouted at me because it would have been so much easier to take. But yeah, that's my little sort of funny story of that. Anyway, I've really got to go over to some time lapse because I'm already half an hour in to the video, and we've got quite a bit to do in this episode. So yes, I'm going to have to get on. So I'll see you in a bit. for the second time, I'm back. I apologise. You've missed me going to fetch so I recorded it all. I did record it all. So we went and got in the lorry and we drove all the way down there, picked up our pallets, came back, sold our wares, made good money, right? But, you know, ended the episode, what have you, told you a little story, you know, a little funny story. Brilliant. Got the video finished. Thought, I better just make sure with this one, with the story that I told, that's okay. So I get in touch with Mandy, and I says to her, I says, Mand, I said, I've got a video for you to look at. I said, but you're all right. I said, I didn't say anything wrong in the first half of the video. It's just the ending. So she said, okay. She said, what was you talking about? I said, I was talking about me going clubbing with my mates one night. So she said, okay, that doesn't seem all that controversial, if I'm honest with you. I said, no. I said, but it might be what I was talking about. I said, within the context. She said, okay, send it over. So I sent the video over, and after about, well, I mean, the video, it's the actual sort of ending was about like 8 or 9 minutes. And literally about 8 or 9 minutes later, she rings me up and she goes, absolutely not, no. That cannot go out. I was like, oh, okay. I said, am I going to have to re-record my ending? She's like, yep. She goes, and I want to listen to the rest of the video now. I said, well, a big chunk of it, I said, a chunk of it is time lapse. I said, so there's no talking on that. So I definitely didn't do anything wrong there. So she's like, okay. She said, send me the first bit. And then anyway, I sent her the first bit. She's like listening. She listened to it. And she rang me back. She went, James. I said, yeah. She goes, why is your intro half an hour long? I said, oh, I got chatting. She goes, yeah, I know. She said, I heard it. She said, but she said, it's your intro. So I said, yeah, I know. She said, I told you. She said, your intros need to be no longer than 10 minutes. So I said, no, I know. She said, you know, she said, you did 3 intros in that intro. So I said, yeah, I know. I said, I know. She said, well, pack it in. I said, I can't help it. I said, I like talking to the people on YouTube. I like telling them my stories. I said, I'm not particularly funny. I said, but I like telling them. I said, it's just nice to have someone to chat to. She said, well, chat to me. I said, well, you're always busy. So she said, yeah, I know I'm always busy. She said, but I chat to you. I said, no, I know you do. I said, no, I'm not saying you don't. I said, but, you know, I said, like, you don't need me hanging around. I said, you got your own family and your own stuff to deal with. I said, like, you know, and yeah, so I think she would quite appreciate me telling you this, is that she's just become a novelist for the first time. So she's 50, nearly 60. She won't mind me telling you. She ain't getting in this ending. Otherwise, I won't be alive for the next episode. But yeah, so she's nearly 60. But I didn't tell you that. And yeah, she's just got her first book published, and that's how me and her kind of met originally. So 2 years ago, I did a university course, as you know, creative writing, blah blah blah. But many years before that, Mandy moved into the house next door to where I used to live, not where I live now. And she doesn't live there either now. She's moved away as well. But but yeah, she moved into where we used to live and next door, and we kind of got sort of. I was cutting the grass one day, and she came out, saw me, and you know, basically said hello. And with that, do you want to come round for a cup of tea? And you know, and we got, you know, and we became friends. And then with. So she'd said to me, she said, like, oh, you know, and at the time I was going through a lot of sort of mental kind of problems and illness, you know, sort of illness and problems and that. And I was becoming a bit of a recluse. I was staying in. I didn't really want to go out. The only place I would go was Mandy's or outside sort of where we lived. But I wouldn't go beyond the gate other than to walk across the road, literally, you know, 4 steps across the road and into Mandy's sort of front door sort of thing, like, you know. So that was about as far as it would go. Anyway, she says to me one day, she says, you want to join a writing course? you'll meet some people, blah 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 blah. You see, so I'm like, oh, no, I'm all right. So unbeknown to me, she's joined a writing course, right? Well, I've then sort of kind of said to, I don't know, maybe one of my brothers or to someone, it's been suggested that I should join a writing course, and they've gone, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And anyway, I've joined a writing course. It's local to me. It's only a few miles down the road, and we'll skip to the next month because we've not got a great deal that we can get on with at the moment. Actually, before we do that, we will just have a look at what's on the sale. Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, no. As I say, I think I would really like that, and I tell you why I'd like. I mean, that's way too expensive, but why I would like that is that would be one combine, and we would never need to invest in a combine again, and it's very cheap. But as I say, we just can't afford it. I wouldn't mind that drill either, but again, my tractor is only 3 horsepower, bigger than the drill. We're going to need one of them. We're going to need one of them. We're eventually going to need one of them and one of them. So, yes, we could spend millions in here. Yeah, so anyway, I joined the writing course and go to the first night, go to the writing course. Well, actually, to be fair, I didn't go to the first night's writing course. It was on a Monday and a Tuesday. Didn't go. Too nervous. Everything got the better of me. Didn't go. Second, didn't tell Mandy. Mandy hadn't told me that she'd joined a writing course, and I hadn't told her because I didn't want the weight of expectations sort of kind of on my back sort of thing, you know. So it was a case of like, don't tell Mandy. And she obviously sort of thought, well, there's not much point telling James because, he isn't going to go anyway, so what have you. And anyway, second night on the Tuesday, I decided I was going to go. So I went to the writing course. Oh, hello. That would be very nice. Our tractor would definitely pull that. Go to the writing course. You already know what's coming. She was there. So we ended up being on a writing course together. And of course, I then attended every sort of lesson thereafter. And yeah, as I say, we still write, we still send each other what we're writing and that, and I mean, she's a terrific writer, and I'm not going to say I'm terrible. I'm not to her standard, that is definitely for sure. But yeah, we still send each other stuff. I mean, I'm writing something at the moment that is sort of quite interesting, and well, I say quite in my eyes, the subject title is quite interesting. Anyway, I'm just waffling now, and you good people have got lives to lead. So I'm going to say thanks very much for watching this episode. And in the next episode, I promise I won't overrun the beginning and we can get a lot more done. And I'll probably as well get us to spring so that we can start field work again. We've got a little bit of over winter ploughing to do. I want to get those 3 fields there ploughed. So they're ready to go. We're going to need a drill. We've got a planter already for our veggies, so that's no problem. But we are going to need a seed drill. As I say, I've got these all to sell, so by the time I sell these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you now so that you don't sort of kind of miss out in a way. So I'm going to be buying that, and I might buy that as well, just because when we do eventually get animals, we are going to need that. I don't know. It just looks perfect for us, it will take a round bale, it will take a square bale, so it looks perfect for us. So I probably will buy that in anticipation for when we get animals, which isn't hopefully going to be too long. I've got some fields down there that I think are animal perfect, and some fields up there that are animal perfect. So that's what I'm going to be sort of looking to do. But anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. If you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks ever so much. Bye for now.